What's up guys and welcome back to the Drift Games YouTube channel. On the last episode, well, we kind of just got distracted a lot and we were supposed to do lots on our Corolla and then we ended up looking at loads of other cool cars. So we got to catch back up to see where we're at and start getting this Corolla actually ready for a reveal at the end of this series. So let's see where we are right now. Alright, so a car coming out for the first time now onto the ground, so big difference in road or ride height here. So we got first look. As Darren would say, we now adjust the ride height to see how low we want to go and then we'll align it based on that. So I think
well, it's obviously going to go lower.
It's obviously going to go lower, let's be honest. There's no spoilers here, it's going to go lower. So we're going to keep going as low as we can, that makes it still comfortable to drive on the road. So I think we're probably still going to go lower in the front and we're going to go lower in the back. It's not even off the lift yet.
We're real pros here.
So,
it's
yeah.
sitting on the jack.
We have no idea what's going on. That's why we bring it to the experts. Front-wise and rear-wise, what do you think right now?
We'll go definitely the rear down lots. Front another bit for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
3/4 of an inch or something.
Perfect. It's already, I'm really liking the look of it. While we're here, we can actually look at one of the maddest cars, definitely one of the maddest drift cars I think in the world, which is kind of in a naked state at the moment, which is good because we actually get to look around it. And Darren, this is a car that has been developed over such a long time. We've checked it out, you know, back in the day when it was multiple times, but there's something very different going on here at the front. It looks like a giant spider. It's crawling all over the engine. What is going on here with this exhaust? Like, why is it?
The exhaust is called a 180-degree crossover exhaust. What that means is, if you follow the pipes, which is difficult, you have two cylinders from one bank, so we'll say the first one and the fourth one, going to one collector, and then the middle two cylinders from the other bank will go to that collector, and vice versa. What that actually does is, instead of a V8 being, do you know the burble of a V8?
Yeah.
That's because you're hearing every second fire of the engine because it's this side of the engine, that side of the engine,
like
this side of the engine,
yeah.
that side of the engine. In this you'll hear every fire from the exhaust system. So it increases the pitch of the engine, the noise pitch, massively.
Is
so
it only just for noise or is it for a practical purpose too?
The 180-degree crossover gives you mid-range torque. Now it brings down peak horsepower. But I kind of did it a bit for noise. Really,
We've jumped ahead of ourselves here, sorry, because what engine is this? Because this is not an NS, this is not a...
No.
This is something very different. It's from a sprint car, which is like a NASCAR.
From a World of Outlaw sprint car, it's not like an NASCAR, it's like a little midget with the big aerofoil on the top.
The big wing and
around the oval.
Ah.
Yeah. That's what it's out of, yeah. So they run them at 880 to 900 horsepower on the oval. But this exhaust system is a world first. It's never been put on a 410, so it's a 410, 410 cubic inches, is 6.8 litres. And it is, I'm telling you, it is just an event in itself, this thing.
I get you.
You'll probably hear it in Kildare when we started. We've had it running here, it is incredible. I mean,
It revs like nothing else.
it'll rev to 6.8 litres, it will rev to 8,500 if we wanted to.
What?
Very instant as well.
It's like a motorbike, I mean, one breed of the throttle, it's at 4,500 instantaneously. So it will be
Sounds
all
scary.
throttle modulation. The sprint cars run on pure methanol, alcohol. They run on that, but it's like
A bit like Blaine.
bit like well,
Blaine runs on pure alcohol at the weekends.
right.
Yeah, it doesn't perform very well at all. It's actually more of a hindrance, but for an engine I'd imagine it's far better.
Credit card?
Yes.
Mike wants the credit card.
I'm going shopping.
After showing the engine he said this is the coolest thing ever, so the coolest air filter ever.
How big is it?
That's what she said. Full dry carbon fibre, so it weighs 0. And that sits there.
To be fair now, I haven't seen carbon fibre in an air filter that comes out of a
That
box.
sits there, and you can just hold that a second.
Steady on, Dave. That's one thing you can't break, I think.
It's the biggest air filter I've ever seen anyway. Imagine that now in this Micra. This is mad.
That goes there, and the air temperature sensor actually peaks up through here, gets the airbox temperature, and then that's your carbon fibre K&N box on top.
Now it looks like a Formula D engine to me. I can go super low, but it's not going to get over speed bumps. It's going to wreck the car.
I would say it's a nice low there. I would say any more would be more impractical.
Yeah. I'm going to let Darren be the expert on this.
He's taking the good old step back to look.
Yeah, he's having that look everyone does to go, is it right?
What we want to do and deck it and make it, you know, absolutely gorgeous is not going to work for you because you're just going to rub and, you know.
And the thing is, the arches are so mint on it that you're just going to wreck the arches.
Be livable,
like as I said, I don't want to wreck the actual car by making it look good and just tear itself apart.
Yeah.
But I do want it still to look pretty good and drive pretty good. And most importantly, to be honest, is drive pretty good, because I wanted the car to take for a weekend spin or whatever, and I didn't want to be going, oh, don't ever drive the car, it looks great, don't touch it, don't bring it anywhere. If there's a speed bump, I'm going to put it back in the garage for 6 months. Like, I might as well burn the car, in my opinion. I was like, I want to drive it, I want to bring it places, I want to track it, I want to do a bit of skidding. I don't want it to be one of those things where I'm like petrified. And I've built cars like that in the past where they look amazing, but they can't get out of the bump.
Yeah, drop another 5 mil in the rear where you call it dead, that depends on.
It's getting very anal now. 5 mil.
5 mil. Makes all the difference. You know all about that, Josh, that's all you have.
Dirty dick.
That's a dig, man. And you can't punch me because you're holding the camera, which is ideal. Oh, if you're ever insulting Josh, make sure he's got a camera, because he can't drop the camera.
I will drop the camera. I'll hit you with the camera.
I will hit you with the camera.
You sound like an old woman that goes, oh, what's wrong with your car? It's very noisy.
Why would you say that?
It's very low. Why is it so low? Is there a puncture?
It's JDM.
What's it?
It's a style.
Explain. So to me, it just looks like it looked like the grill fell off, and you're exposing stuff that isn't supposed to be seen.
Like your pants around your knees.
Yeah, you always come.
You're exposing stuff that shouldn't be seen.
You have one comeback.
And it works for everything you say.
It makes the car look more like a track-focused performance
It's
car.
just something from Japan that kind of, an awful lot of them ended up with no grill and the two exposed faults.
That's because they fell off and they couldn't afford another one.
Incorrect. Incorrect. Dave is a millionaire. He can afford everything. Still goes for this look.
You're trying to convince a man that has a Fiat 500 and an MX-5 and about style.
I know I've got a lot of style.
Yeah, for a hairdresser, but other than that,
I just think that's a very ugly bit of the car where a grill covers and now you've taken it off. But hey, that's just my opinion.
we'll see it out in the light, Josh, and we'll see if people agree that we should have a grill or no grill. It's a nice cam, or a nice Corolla is what it was, but now it's like exactly how I would want it. And I know that it divides opinion, but that's the point, isn't it? Yeah. You don't want to just build a car that looks like everyone else's car.
I think it's hard to deny that it doesn't look nicer than a standard car.
No, it looks, as I said, it looks, to me anyway, and I know people will totally think differently, but to me, this is how I would want my Corolla to look, and it is my Corolla.
But that's like the quite controversial thing about them, because you get people saying, you can't do this.
You can't change that, or you're ruining it. I'm like, if you like your car, how are you ruining it? Like if you're only building your car to a strict set of rules for everybody else to follow, and you're building your car for other people, then it's not your car anymore. You're just trying to impress other people. I think this, to me, was how I wanted to do this car. I wanted to look like a Japanese track car, essentially driving down the road, but it is a super clean one. It's not like a rough around the edges car. So it looks a little bit more purposeful than it is because it's very clean. But I know people want to do museum pieces on them, but there's enough Corollas in the world that are super spotless and clean. Like, there's enough of them. It's not like this is the last Corolla on earth. So I think it looks amazing, and I can't wait to see it just out in the sunlight now, because I know we've been up and down the ramp all day, but when you get it outside and you stand back from it at a distance, in garages are really tough to decide what things look like, and we get the seat in and the steering wheel in, then at least we can take it outside, do a couple of shots, take it for a drive, and I think it'll just stand back from it then and see the difference. It's going to be massive, massive. And then it's like my dream Corolla. Yes, we have some decals to put on it, and some bits and pieces. We wanted little small details, a TRD gear knob, and some other bits that I've ordered. But more importantly, they're only small pieces. This is the big piece. Once this works, everything else is just tiny. So you never finish modifying cars, but to me, this is a huge chunk of the job done today, and I'm over the moon. I just want to see it outside now. I'm super excited. We want to take a minute just to thank one of our partners here at Drift Games, M-Tech Brakes. They're one of the UK's leading supplier of performance brake pads, discs and hoses. We have run them on all of our cars. They're an amazing product and at an amazing price. So make sure you check out their full range at mtechbrakes.com. So we've just got the car back together, took some shots of it, it looks amazing. Now I'm going to take it on the road and see what the real difference is in a very sunny and beautiful Cork day. And already I can tell you, it's chalk and cheese, like it feels so tight on the roads. And like a go-kart, it's like the handling is so direct, but it's not uncomfortable. We still have a couple of rattles in the back because the car is now much stiffer. It's actually all interior panels in the boot that are rattling, so we just need to screw them in. But man, does it feel like a go-kart to drive. Like, compared to how it was so kind of floaty and wobbly. This is so much fun. It feels like you're driving a go-kart on the road, and this road isn't exactly smooth. See how it handles some train tracks.
It's bumpy.
It's bumpy. Oh, that's amazing. Like, it's stiff on the back because it's so low, but it just feels so planted on the road. That's the big thing. Like, it was never going to be the most comfortable car in the world. We want to do a little bit of track driving in it, and it just feels so capable now. Like, every little input I'm putting in there, it's doing something, whereas before it was quite vague. Now this is the power steering model, so it is a little bit nicer to drive, even though we may swap that for a manual rack at some point if we want to get a bit of extra lock for some drifting stuff. But at this moment in time, for a car that's this low, yes! Oh, that's so much better. This is such a fun little car to drive. I'm so happy we made the decision we did with all of the suspension stuff, with everything. It's just really come together here. And the guys at Group D, obviously they know these cars so well. Darren has set this up. He took it down the road once or twice, made some adjustments to the shocks, and of course already started talking to us about some more things we can do, like polybushing the car, putting in some different suspension parts that are a little bit more uprated. But would you ever get enough of that? That noise is amazing. Okay, sorry guys, I got a little bit wrapped up with just experiencing the car there. We hope you guys have enjoyed this series. We've really loved working on the Corolla. It's not the last you're going to see of this car. We're going to do plenty with it. Put it through its paces, put it on track, do some epic road trips. You offer some suggestions of what we should do with it. Should we go back and race Josh's car again and whoop it this time? I think we should. So we hope you guys have enjoyed this series. We've had an amazing time at Group D. We saw some amazing stuff. And now we have a car going home back to the Drift Games garage that I think is so capable of having fun on the weekends or on the track. So thanks for watching guys. We'll see you on the next one. Let's drop another gear and see you later.